They don't have a deal in place by then, but their preference, and Dak Prescott's, is that a deal is done before then, and they will continue to work on it. Look, we can talk about how it's not close, and that's because they haven't made any progress, but fact of the matter is one phone call could go from not close to almost done, right, if somebody just decides to take a step in the other's direction. But right now there hasn't been any reason to do that, and March 9th is the date to keep an eye on.
Okay, so all that is out there. And then there is a part of this story, and I was reading about it this morning in the Dallas Morning News. It is very interesting, even if it isn't at all important. The Cowboys released a 32-second hype video on their official Twitter, their verified Twitter feed. It is a 32-second video showing Cowboys legends and a whole lot of moments of current Cowboys players. There are quite a few current Cowboys that are shown on this video, and very notably, one of them is not Dak Prescott. There are a combined total of 0 shots of Dak Prescott on this video. There are quite a few players in here that you know well. There were some players on here whose names I had to look up. But that was the 32-second video. Dak's brother, Tad Prescott, friend of the show, quote tweeted that, and with just that emoji of like, isn't that interesting? So once again, I want to make it clear. The notion that this somehow was Jerry Jones sending a message, no one is saying that. So it is interesting, if not important. Swagoo, what do you think of Dak being left off the 32-second Cowboys hype video?
Gee, you know I like to get emotional about the Cowboys, and I don't look at this as something small, man. Like, and look, I know. For real. Let me say this: because no franchise, no organization makes a hype video without their quarterback when the quarterback is the best player on the team. Like that. That's right. How many checks? How many times did the social media team look at this and say, you know what, maybe we should put our franchise, quote unquote, quarterback in the highlight video who broke his ankle trying to make a play in order to continue this team, to try to get this team a win. Like, so, yeah, call me petty, call me emotional swagoo, but I know Green Bay Packers ain't doing no highlight video without Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Before this season, the Philadelphia Eagles wouldn't have did a highlight video without Carson Wentz. A highlight video without Jared Goff before that trade. Like this, the tone, it's just the tone. Like the social media team knows what Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys have been going through for the last 3 years, 3 cycles. I know Jeff just said, one phone call. We've been waiting on that damn phone call. I was 34 when I was waiting on that phone call. I'm 37 now. Yes. Okay? So the bottom line is this. I don't know who made the mistake with the social team, but it was a grave mistake. Read the room, social media team with Dallas, and understand that Dak Prescott should be in every good advertisement for your football team if you want him to be your quarterback.
What do you think, Jeff?
This is unbelievable. So when we were talking about this morning, I didn't realize, you know, when I just watched this thing and I see Dak's brother, you know, with the whole little emoji, this is a thing of beauty. Like, this could not have been a dumber thing to do for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, are you kidding me, man? Like, the video starts with every quarterback. Like, go back and watch the Colts highlights video. It's like Peyton breaking them down, right? Andrew Luck, any team. It's the centers who are looking to see if they're in there, right? Like, it'd be like me, like, man, did I get in there? I try to like freeze it, like pause it, and then like show my kids, look, I'm in there, right there. That's me. That's 63. You see my 3, it's just a part of it, but I'm in there, right? You can see my shoe right here. The quarterback is always the guy who's in it. Like, he can't get enough FaceTime. And the social media is like, it's a slight over, there's no story, Hugh. What are you talking about? There's no story. It is the story. Like, I mean, that's a freaking joke. It's not a story. You said everything you needed to say.
Go ahead, Marcus, real quick.
They freaking put Troy Aikman in there. They put Troy Aikman in the highlight video, y'all. What are we doing?
They did.
What are we doing, social team?
Unbelievable.
This happened. That's the point. Unbelievable. No one is suggesting that Jerry and Stephen Jones are behind this. So it is interesting, even if it isn't important. And I guarantee you, to some now, here they are, the biggest loser going into this offseason. And this is a very important little moment, a juncture for the Steelers, Dan Graziano, and their legendary quarterback. Tell us about it.
Jeff mentions that cap number. It's $41.25 million if he's on the team this year, the highest in the league. So the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger have to have a conversation about what to do about that. How do you lower that cap number? Well, one way they can lower it is to extend his contract and dump salary cap hits into future years. They could do that, and there's some sense that they will do that because of what he's meant to that franchise. But the most they can save by doing that is about $14 million, whereas if they cut him or he retires, they save $19 million on the cap, and that could make the difference for a team that has a lot of free agents to sign, a lot of great young players that are coming due for extensions. It's a tricky situation, and it could end up, there is a chance that it ends up with Ben Roethlisberger not being on the 2021 Steelers.
Fascinating. So I'm trying to read your face. Go.
The conundrum, G. Think about it, man. I think it's so fascinating for me when we look at this Pittsburgh Steelers case study with Ben Roethlisberger and how up in arms people are about what the Green Bay Packers did drafting Jordan Love. Like, this is what you're probably supposed to do, what Green Bay did. Now that we are sitting here with this situation in Pittsburgh, you got to make a definitive decision about your quarterback. And Ben has expressed his willingness to come back and play for less money. But with that being said, like Grimes just laid out, they need so much more. And I'm not sure if Ben is still in that elite status where he can raise you above what you're lacking from an offensive or defensive standpoint. Don't forget, Bud Dupree got injured. He's going to be a free agent. He got to find money somewhere. So it's a lot of things that the Pittsburgh Steelers need to do. And to have this situation without any quarterback to turn to is a problem.
Yeah. It's important, as we sort of read history, Jeff. Terry Bradshaw left the Steelers, the legendary former Steeler, under less than outstanding circumstances, and that relationship has really never been okay again, and that's 40 years ago. So you sort of have to walk a little bit of a fine line as you handle this. What do you think of it, Jeff Saturday?
No, what you just said is so right. Is the balance between the relationship with Ben post-career more important than what's happening right now? Because Dan just outlined it in so swagoo. The nucleus of this team is actually really good, right? You have a bunch of really young players who can win a lot of football games, and then you have this $41 million number that you just can't seem to find a way. There are a lot of quarterbacks who would like to step into a situation with the defense they have on that side of the ball and then working to repair this offensive line and run game and be able to help this team win. They got a lot of good talent on the outside at receiver. Listen, I'm just telling you, you got to worry about now, or you worry about a relationship post-career. I think now has to be the focus for the Steelers football team.
Yeah, this is not a team that ever rebuilds, right? They kind of reload on the fly.
Yeah.
We'll see. There is a scenario here where even if both sides want it to happen,